Guys, we're back on our adventures. I guess the exploration continues. I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, but in the next 5 seconds you can probably guess. if you want to guess now, I guess you can pause and guess in the comments. But today we are in the lovely Giza, Cairo, and we're going to be exploring the Great Pyramids of Giza. As you can see, we're in front of the beautiful Khufu pyramid, built more than 4,000 years ago now, constructed 2,500 years before Christ, and then it was built for the king of Khufu, Pharaoh of Khufu, pardon, and it was meant to act as a tomb. So we're currently in a cemetery. If you think about it, this is the biggest out of the, well, 3 tallest ones, but there is 9 overall. It was constructed from a limestone. Over 2 million bricks were used to build this. A lot of the limestone was taken from the nearby quarry. And a lot of it was transported over the River Nile, which is nearby. As you can see, spectacular. The video is not going to do it justice. It's definitely has lost its outer layer. Was apparently nice and smooth, and only the official structure remains. But given that it's been 4,000 years, the structure is still standing. Thank you.
Egyptian.
Lovely camel. Name?
Thank you. Oscar.
Oscar.
You come from where?
Oscar.
Which country?
UK.
Lovely jubbly. Come on, I give you one.
No. No, later.
Okay, don't forget.
No, I'm not going to forget. So you can see, it seems like a lot of people are climbing it. I'd love to climb it, but there's a fine. And I think you go to jail, so. But I guess while we're here, we probably should touch it. A lot of touts around trying to get you to get camels or horse rides.
I hope you will never do it. Okay, my sister. Thank you, my sister.
I guess while we're here, probably should touch it. No, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Shukran.
Come from
UK.
America?
UK.
England. Tally hair, lovely jubbly.
Nice.
My cousin live in Yorkshire.
Oh, nice.
You first time in Egypt?
Yes.
You go English, tell him people come to Egypt.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
This present for England.
No, I'm good.
Hey.
I'm good.
Sir, hey,
I'm good.
no money, this present for England group.
No.
Hey.
Yeah. So as you can see, a lot of touts trying to give you gifts, and they're not really gifts. They expect something in return. They'll throw you a wristband or give you something to hold. Then they'll walk away, make it seem like it's a gift, but it's not actually a gift. They will then come to you. I don't know if they're struggling or they have problems with the family, but they will just usually come up with a story to get you to donate money, and they usually ask for dollars, not even the Egyptian pounds, and they usually ask for outrageous money amounts, like $50 to $100, which I guess if you have the money and financial backing, then you can probably pay for it. But given that I'm just up and coming, don't have the financial income to be giving every single person that I come across the way $50. Yeah, so let me just pan around. It's impressive to see that these pyramids were here when Cleopatra was around. Julius Caesar was here. I guess Julius Caesar did have a kid with Cleopatra, Little Caesar, which was then murdered by Octavian, which was his predecessor, because he didn't want Little Caesar to take over the throne after Caesar passed away. And the great Alexander was here as well. So it's weird to think that these roads, I guess, and the deserts used to be roamed by the greats, the great pharaohs, the great kings, the great, yeah, all the greats. I think from this side you can kind of see the opening as well. So this is the entrance probably to the inside. I haven't not decided whether I want to go inside. According to fellow YouTuber Dale Phillips, there is nothing major inside. You just wander through a tunnel to get to a shrine of a space inside, but it's completely dark. So there's not much to see, and you have to go in groups. And also, when you're claustrophobic, which hopefully I'm not, but I don't want to test myself, you get to the end, and then you have to come back. Yeah, a lot of people today. Impressive how they transport all the limestone from the nearby quarry. See again. Alright, let's go get a different vantage point from the other side, and then we can go and see the other two, Khafre and Menkaure, which were built after Khufu passed away. Khafre was the son of Khufu, which constructed his own pyramid, and Menkaure was his grandson, which was rushed. That's why it's the smallest one at the end. But yeah, still very impressive. And to think that this structure was the biggest structure in the world for 3,000 of years, until the cathedral in the UK, I believe. I don't know if it's the cathedral in Leeds. I'll definitely need to double check on myself, but that was constructed, and that was taller than the actual pyramid. But to think that something like this was constructed 2,500 years before Christ, and Pythagoras wasn't invented. I guess they did have their own, they probably had Pythagoras knowledge back in the day, but it wasn't trademarked by the Greeks. But I guess the maths was out there, because even when we look at the city of Babylon, a lot of the maths came from there as well. So they used to be smart. Yeah. And it's symmetrical, and it was constructed based on the position of the sun and the stars. I guess there were good astrologers like in Egypt. To be honest, even the modern calendar stems from the Egyptians, and that's where the Romans got it from. So they used to follow a calendar of 12 months of 30 days and 5 days to rest at the end to make it 365. Yeah, so after Julius Caesar came to meet Cleopatra, what he brought back to Rome was basically the calendar. That's why the modern calendar that we have today has 365 days. That's due to the Egyptian people and the the last pharaoh of Egypt, which was Cleopatra, which then there's a lot of myths of how she passed away. Some people say that she was bitten by a poisonous cobra. Some say that she poisoned herself, that she didn't want Romans to kill her. So guess people believe their own version of that story, but she was the last pharaoh, because then Egypt became a province of Rome. I would really want to climb that. There's guards everywhere. And I don't want to risk being on the local news or even national news. Yeah. But I think everyone that comes to witness the pyramids, they probably want to climb it up. I guess back in the day it was harder because the surface was way smoother. The limestone was imported, so it was a much nicer limestone than we had from the quarries in the local quarry, which was just nearby. The better limestone had to be transported down the River Nile and then tunneled to bring it here. It's impressive. You can get horses, you can get camels. Just be wary of the prices, because they usually tell you one price, which is set, and then they'll basically then change it after you're done. So I guess, but you get that everywhere, right? It's not just Egypt. It's not. You get it everywhere. You even get it in London. You even get it in New York. Like, as soon as they see a tourist, they see money, right? So they want to gain as much as from you as possible. So you just have to be, I guess, not saying street smart, but I guess you just have to fight for your own, right? Like, don't go out and pay them outrageous amounts and ask them for like $100, $200, because that's definitely not the price. I inquired from the local. Apparently it's 300 Egyptian pounds that they charge the locals. So that equates to like, I don't know, £5, £5 roughly, given that the dollar is very strong right now. So yeah, if you're paying like $10 for a ride, I think that's a very good price. So I think you should be aiming to pay between $10 to $15, which equates to like 600 to 900 Egyptian pounds. And if you're getting scammed, I'll definitely, I guess if you're scared of getting scammed and don't want to go through the whole hustle, I guess do hire out a guide. Those are usually offered by, it's not a sponsored video, but I guess they do have guides when you walk into the pyramids that can tell you a bit about the history. I guess I gave you a brief overview, not too much, from what I've known and what I've quickly looked up. But it's very impressive, especially knowing like the greats that stood these grounds and walked these grounds. Great Khufu. Cool. Let's go to Khafre, which is the middle one, which still has a top, so you can see that it was actually smooth. Well, it's eroding, as in it's 4.5 thousand years. Well, 4.5k, not 4.5 thousand years. 4,500 years, but you can still, it's still pretty smooth on top. Let me just zoom in. Okay. Yeah, it's still pretty smooth on top, so you can see still the top kind of remain intact compared to the Khufu one, which is the oldest one, and that was constructed for the Great Khufu, which is the first one that was constructed in Egypt. You alright? How's it going? All good? Yeah, a lot of traffic today. Definitely recommend coming here during the week. Maybe not on the weekend. This is a Friday, and we are currently in September, so the weather is good. It's not too hot. I think it's 24 degrees today, so it's actually reasonable. Apparently in the summers it gets up to like 45 degrees, so you don't want to be standing in 45-degree heat in the middle of basically a desert and exploring these things, especially when you get older or you got health problems. Let me just quickly cross so I don't get killed. And this is the Khafre. I'm sorry for any Egyptian viewers, I'm definitely butchering all the names. I know they're your pharaohs, they're your kings. So I'm very sorry about that. I think Khafre. Yeah. I'm not good with accents, as you guys probably already know. Oh, it's pretty cool. Oh, so you can climb those stones. Oh, so we got some camels in here. And you can see people are climbing stones, so let's quickly climb some stones. What's going on here? Again, when you're in Egypt, right? Let's climb some structure. Yeah, when they were building it, apparently the foundations, in order to get them leveled, they had to like flood the oh my god, the trench that they dug in order to see if the actual ground underneath is actually level, which allowed for the pyramids to be constructed. I guess if there's not any architects or any structural engineers in the comments that know anything more, to mention cool facts in the comments. But as things go, I'm just currently walking in front of Khafre. And you could probably get a better vantage point of Khufu behind me. And I guess everywhere you go, you tend to forget that a lot of the tourists come here from Egypt as well, and from their own country. It's not just international tourists that you get, but you also get tourists from, whether it's Alexandria or Luxor, but they also come to explore the wonders of their own country. Yes, this is the local parking lot for the camels. Yeah. There's camels there. Camels. Sad sight. Okay, nice. Alright, I'm gonna make my way to Menkaure. Definitely butchering that again. And so I will see you on the third pyramid. Thank you. Yeah, so now we're just making our way towards the final of the three tallest pyramids. I guess there's 9 in total, so it's not final of the 3, but I guess it's the Menkaure, which is the last pyramid that was constructed by the grandson of Khufu. As you can see, it's a bit smaller than the other ones. We'll go to the panoramic view so you can probably see the difference in size, but that's Khufu and then Khufu in the background, which is a bit lower. Yeah, it's really interesting because a lot of the limestone, I guess, a lot of the stone that has fallen down, some of it's still there at the bottom. It's really weird that the one at the bottom is red compared to the one at the top, which is yellowish limestone color. But a lot of the stone was used to build the buildings that we have in Cairo today. I don't know if you can see the panorama of Cairo and Giza, but a lot of it was used to build buildings, as in given that it's been for 1,500 years since, and a lot of the debris has come off of the pyramids. I guess the locals used it to build the local houses, etc. So you'll probably still find houses in Giza and Cairo today that might have been built on the foundations of the actual stones that were gathered from the actual pyramids, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But if you can see the Menkaure in the background, as you can see the entrance as well, we'll get closer, so I'll probably show you a better picture, but it's facing north, as it's for all of them. At first it was hidden. That's because you had the outer shell of the actual pyramid that covered it, and only, I guess, the workers knew about it, right? But they didn't want like robbers to know about it in order to, so they don't break in and steal any, I guess, artifacts, any gold that was stored there with the actual king, or steal the body, which apparently was stolen before. But with Khufu there's two entrances. One is the original entrance that we saw earlier, which is at the north of the pyramid, which was covered up. But was it really covered up if like all the workers at the time knew about it? But like there were some robbers that tried to break in and figured out a way to get to that is going to be in the north side of the actual pyramid, and they dug a tunnel underneath. So nowadays you've got two entrances to the actual Khufu pyramid. Yeah. So this one's smaller, which was rushed. The original timing of Khufu and the construction of it, I'm not sure about Khafre and Menkaure, but Khufu was somewhere between 20 to 40 years. They had to construct it before Pharaoh, the king of Khufu, was deceased. And it's interesting that they had the concept of three-dimensional shapes at the time, because the actual tomb that's inside had to be constructed inside before the actual outlayer was constructed. So it's pretty cool. You've got two panoramic sites, one in the distance, and I think you can get there either by camel, horse that you rent, or there seems to be a road that leads to it, so you can maybe get an Uber, but don't quote me on that. And there's also one in the background, which we'll go to. I don't know if there's any wildlife like snakes in the desert. I guess they do come out at night, right? Because they usually look for a shade during the day. Not really an expert on snakes, but I know a few. I'm joking. That was a cheap joke. Yeah, you've got Menkaure here. Let's get closer. Finally got two Menkaure underneath it. It still looks spectacular, but it does look smaller than the other ones. So I don't know if it's open, then you can go in. Definitely need to buy a tour to explore the inside. But it's really interesting that a lot of the stone has fallen from all the pyramids are reddish in color, similar to like granite rather than limestone. Maybe someone in the comments can comment on that. But this is Menkaure, which is Khufu's grandson, Khafre's son, which was the third pyramid that was constructed. Still got the outer layer stones that were settled on top of the one side underneath, and you've got the entrance from the north side. Let's see what they have here. 208 quid. You can buy a ticket online. 280. Oh, let's see. Let's inquire. Let's see online. Maybe you can get in. Have a look. Here's the smallest of the three. I guess out of 9 in total, which we will see in the panorama later on. I hope I'm not wrong. Based on my little research that I've done today, apparently there's 3 for each pyramid for the wives, which we assume. To be honest, a lot of the stories about the pyramids are based on theories, because the great library in Alexandria was burnt to ashes after Julius Caesar, I forgot who was the other emperor or general. Yeah, basically Romans had a civil war, they brought it to Egypt. Then Cleopatra's brother killed the general, and Julius Caesar didn't like it, and then Cleopatra had to basically help with the ties between Rome, the Roman Empire, and Egypt, and they struck a relationship, and they basically had a kid together, which was Little Caesar, which I guess Julius Caesar omitted from his official will. And he decided Octavian, which is his son-in-law, is gonna take over instead of actually his blood and his heir, which was Little Caesar, which had both Egyptian roots and Roman roots. And Cleopatra at the time believed he would unite both the empires. Cool. So here's a third one. Great. Khafre, and then Khufu at the back. No. Now we go to the top. That's one of the panoramic views, and as you can see, all of the horses, carriages, and the camels that people take, usually people take them up here so you can get a panoramic view of all the 3 pyramids. So you've got Menkaure, Khafre, and then the Great Pyramid of Giza at the back, which is the Khufu. And you can get a panoramic view of the pyramids. And also there's some guest services, so you can get Wi-Fi, there's some restrooms here, there's a coffee shop chain here, definitely recommend the coffee. And in the background you've got the Khufu Center, which has a good rated restaurant. Haven't tried it, but I had a look on Google Maps and it seems to have good ratings. And yeah, you can get a good view, get some shade, and enjoy the views, panoramic views of the pyramids, but also Giza and Cairo in the distance. So now, coming back from the panorama view, we can get a good vantage point of all of the 3 main pyramids: the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. And as you can see behind Menkaure, we've got the 3 smaller pyramids, which which were meant for pharaoh's wives. So you can get a good vantage point. There's also another vantage point in the background there. I'm not sure if you can see it. But if you get a camel ride, then you can end your tour there. You can get a picture of the camel in the plane. I think it was 400 Egyptian dollars per person, which is actually like the local price, which I managed to haggle. I'm not saying haggle, but ask for. So yeah, you can even get a good price if you, I guess, know the price. And yeah, oh yeah. No. Another camel here.
You look like Egyptian.
I do, yeah.
Where do you come from?
Cairo.
Cairo?
Yeah.
Cairo City. You're from where, brother?
I'm from the UK.
Nice people.
Thank you.
Just look for this.
No, I'm good. We already had the camel picture.
Hey, make a picture.
I already had it. Thank you. Yeah, I already had a picture of a camel, but as you can see, a lot of people still approach you. I guess they don't see that you've already ticked off that mission. But yeah, if you're ever planning to come to Giza, definitely recommend it. We're gonna go and explore Cairo tomorrow, but in terms of the Pyramid of Giza, is a panoramic view. We're gonna go to see the Sphinx, so I'll definitely see you guys there in a minute. But I definitely recommend it. It's definitely one of the most wonderful wonders of the world, as in I've only seen a few. Apparently Taj Mahal is even more beautiful. So, but as wonders of the world go, it's one of the oldest ones, so definitely impressive that it's still standing. Yeah, now we're approaching the Sphinx statue, which is believed to be body of a lion and a head of a human. The head is supposed to symbolize the Great Pharaoh Khafre, which is the middle pyramid. So we've got the Sphinx. As you can see, it looks like a body of a cat. We'll get closer so you can get a better look. I think January is probably the best time to come. It's winter in Egypt. As in, it's 22 degrees, so it's bearable weather. Whereas coming here at 45 degrees in summer would have its toll. And I don't think you'll be able to walk around freely in like the weather in direct sunlight and go to the panoramic viewpoints. Got a market there. Okay. Apparently the entrance is in the other gate. So let's double check. Some camels here. Got some shops. If you want a headscarf, cheeky obelisk statue or a pyramid statue, you can always pick up a souvenir right here. There's also the second entrance that you can enter from, which is right next to the most famous, cheapest hotel you can get in Egypt. I think it's called Pyramid View. But for $20 a night, you can get views that are better than the Marriott, which is next door, and that charge $300 to $400 for the cheapest room. Yeah, as you can see in the distance, there's the seating laid out for the light show that occurs every single night at 7:30, which I've been told is the one in English, and there's the one that's at 8:30 is in Spanish. I'm not sure if they do other languages. Maybe they do closer to the summertime. So yeah, this is the entrance to the Sphinx. Got some information here. Yeah, so this is apparently the entrance to the actual area where the Great Sphinx is, which is one of the oldest and the largest statues still standing in the world. Oh, there's a Pizza Hut in the distance. Might stop over for a cheeky Pizza Hut afterwards, or maybe find a cheeky Burger King if they have Burger King in Egypt. Before we go to the Sphinx, we've got the mummification area. Yes, so you got beautiful marble floors with columns that's still standing after 4,000 years, and this area was believed to be where the mummification used to happen before the burial. So it's really interesting how this is still standing. Given so many years of the structure, straight cut, and they didn't have any machinery, which is really impressive. Marble on the floors. Now we're making our way up to, I presume it's the area where the Sphinx is. So I think you can just walk past. And a lot of people being asked for tickets, but it's free entry. So don't believe them, just walk past the person that's sitting there. He doesn't have a lanyard or any identification anyway. So yeah, I didn't get asked for tickets. I did hear he was asking some other tourists for the actual tickets. So we got the Sphinx, head of a human, body of a cat, lion, head is to believe to be a head of Khafre.
If we are in the summer, you cannot walk on this wall.
There's just here God in the pyramids. And in the distance you've got the second entrance, so if you choose to walk in through here, Sphinx will be the first one that will be greeting you. It's weird how this was buried before and they had to excavate it to find this magnificent structure that we have here. The nose, as you can see, it's missing, which has fallen off. And as I said before, the debris was used to make the buildings nearby. So there's probably a house in the distance that's built on the foundations of the nose of the Sphinx. Fun fact. Right by the second entrance, you can get a good vantage point of 3 of the, well, 2.5 pyramids, and also the Sphinx, which is over there. So you can get the front of the Sphinx. You can probably see that the nose has come off over a certain time. Of a certain time. Yeah. And the light show happens here. You got all the seating. So if you want, you can come out 7:30, and you probably notice the lights that are around the pyramids. And there's 1 hour light show, and they run you through the history of the pyramids at the same time as well. So it's like a monologue. Yes. So from Giza and the 3 pyramids, it's been great. I guess we need to explore Cairo and see what Cairo has to offer.